Hi, hello. Welcome to my channel if it's your first time, and if not, welcome back. As you probably saw from the title, I'm playing a version of Pokemon Diamond, and in this version, I randomized every single Pokemon in the game except for the starters I could get. More on that in a minute. Cynthia could have 3 Garchomps, a Mewtwo, a Charizard, and an Arceus, or she could have 6 Metapods. All the stats and abilities were left unchanged, and I was ready to play one of my favorite games ever. Could I beat Pokemon Diamond, with all of the Pokemon being random? I named myself Noah and my rival Nips, told the old man bugging me to leave me alone, and I was off. First, I had to grab Nips from his house. He wanted to go to the lake and find a magical red Gyarados. Humoring him, I went with him, and we wound up at the lake, seeing the old man leave his briefcase and said hi to Dawn. Then, Nips and I, naturally, went to see what was in the briefcase. Little did we know. As we were attacked by wild Starlies, we threw open the briefcase. Inside was my choice of a starter Pokemon. The starters were completely random as well, except for one thing. They were all baby forms of a 3-stage evolution line. Seeing my options, I snagged the oh-so-adorable Oddish and fended off the wild Starly. After our encounter, Nips and I started to walk home. However, we were cut off by the old man, who, strangely, didn't ask us to give the Pokemon back. I went home, planning to visit the old man the next day. As I visited, the old man told me I could keep the Pokemon, gave me a Pokedex so fast I could barely blink, and no, I'm being serious, I was in speed up mode and I didn't see the dialogue box appear, and sent me on my way. I officially had my first Pokemon, Oddish, and I named her Wanda, after my favorite popular magic superhero. Now to explain the rules I'll be using for the challenge. I can only catch the first Pokemon I find on each route. I can never use any items in battle, and when a Pokemon faints, it cannot be used again. I also cannot overlevel my Pokemon. My team can only be 1 level higher than the next gym leader's highest Pokemon. If a Pokemon goes over that level cap, they cannot be used until that gym leader is defeated. After talking to my mom and watching Dawn catch a Bidoof, I was ready for my first encounter. Because I get 1 encounter per route, and I had 2 routes available, I instantly was able to add 2 members to my team. I went back to the first route, the one next to my hometown, and found a Jirachi. Now, having a Jirachi on the team would be incredible. It has an amazing base stat total and a very solid defensive typing of Psychic and Steel. However, the only moves it knows are Wish and Confusion. Unfortunately for Wanda the Oddish, Confusion deals, well, a bit too much damage. After battling the legendary Pokemon for a while, I decided it best to let the Jirachi go, heal up Wanda, and get my second encounter. My second encounter was a little Poochyena. It was much easier to capture, and just like that, I had 2 Pokemon, Wanda and Harriet. I was ready to move on. After battling the trainers north of Sandgem Town, which Wanda made short work of, I met Dawn in Jubilife City. She rubbed it in my face about not catching Jirachi, then left. Rude. I made my way to Nips in the Pokemon school, where he gave me a town map. I battled 2 trainers there, again, Wanda working her magic, and then grabbed my Pokédex. After that, I was ready for another encounter. I traveled west, towards Route 218, where I meet a fisherman. I get the old rod from him and begin to fish. After some waiting, I finally get my Pokemon, a Vespiquen. After adding Beyonce to the team, I travel back to Jubilife to get 1 more encounter. Before I can do so, I end up in a fight with a trainer that took literally 10 minutes of in-game time to beat. I came up against a Confusion, Wish, Rest Jirachi, which couldn't hit Harriet because Harriet was a dark type and Confusion doesn't affect it. However, Harriet didn't have great damage back, as its only attack was Tackle, which isn't very effective against Jirachi's steel typing. After a long fight, Harriet prevailed, and I found my 4th Pokemon, which happened to fit my team perfectly. After capturing Beedrill, I named it JZ, ready to fight Nips. Nips starts off with a Milk Tank, which could be tricky in the future. However, right now at level 7, it wasn't a problem for the tag team of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Nips' second and final Pokemon is his starter, Elekid. In a starter-on-starter matchup, Wanda won us our first rival battle with the whole team still intact. After that fight, I battled through some trainers, got the Rock Smash HM from a hiker in Orberg Gate, and made it to Orberg City, all while adding 2 Pokemon, Candace the Mischievous and Thomas the Pidgeotto, to the squad. After being shown around the city, I had another encounter in the Orberg Mine. I found a Muck, which would have been an excellent addition to my team, but I'm out of Pokeballs. After the muck fiasco, and after encountering multiple legendaries on my way out of the cave, I headed north, newly purchased Pokeballs in hand, to grab another encounter. I found Junior the Lileep and stuck him in the box. He'll be helpful in coming battles. Then, going back and finding Rourke in the Oreburg mine, telling him to do his job at the gym, and sprinting after him and pummeling the gym trainers, I was ready to fight my first gym battle. Or so I thought. Rourke led with the Moltres, and this was quite possibly the worst Pokemon for my team to come up against. I had 3 Pokemon that were weak to fire and flying, and the other 3 weren't particularly strong. I led off with Pidgeotto, who was my strongest Pokemon that wasn't weak to Moltres. However, after getting trapped in by Fire Spin, Pidgeotto took 2 more attacks and then fainted. Moltres still had about 75% of its health left, and I could tell this is going to be a long, difficult fight. However, I had a strategy. With Candace being incredibly bulky, I began hitting Moltres with Psywave, which inflicts damage around the user's level. I began wearing Moltres down, and after Rourke used a potion, I attempted to switch to Harriet, which was instantly one-shot by Moltres' wing attack. JZ the Beedrill was the next victim, also getting one-shot by wing attack as it came in next. After that, back in came a weakened Candace, who tanked an Ember, but then missed its Psywave. With my bug flying Beyonce and grass poison Wanda in the back, the battle seemed all but over. After Candace went down, Beyonce switched in. What I didn't realize at the time was how bulky Vespiquen is. I realized I was never going to beat this Moltres by attacking it with Fury Cutter or Gust, so this is where I adopted my second strategy of the battle, Confuse Ray. Confusion is a status condition in Pokemon that allows a Pokemon to attack half of the time. The other half of the time, the confused Pokemon hits itself. Incredibly, Moltres hit itself in confusion 3 straight times, allowing Beyonce to get 3 straight free attacks off. After 3 gusts and 3 rounds of confusion damage, Moltres was defeated. However, Rourke still had 2 Pokemon remaining. Munchlax was up next, but to be honest, at this point, it seemed as if we were over the hill. Beyonce continued to use Fury Cutter, which doubles in power each time it hits consecutively. After 3 Fury Cutters with a Confused Ray sandwiched in between, Beyonce looked like it was on its final life. However, a mistake from Rourke changed the battle completely. Rourke used a potion, healing his Munchlax. Normally this would make sense, as healing Munchlax simply increases its current HP. However, in this case, it allowed Beyonce to get another Fury Cutter to hit, which again doubled its power, and again would double its power on the next turn. So, even though Munchlax was at nearly full HP after the potion, 2 Fury Cutters later, it was defeated. Now the battle was completely flipped on its head. Instead of having to finish off Munchlax and taking a damaged Wanda into a 1 vs 1 against Rourke's final Pokemon, I had a powered up, Fury Cuttering Beyonce ready to take a stab at whatever Pokemon came in next. Rourke's last Pokemon was Shaman, another legendary Pokemon. However, because Shaman is a grass type, it's weak to bug type moves like Fury Cutter, and 2 Fury Cutters later it was defeated. It took quite a toll on our team, but we had our hard-fought first gym badge. If you enjoy this sort of content, feel free to subscribe down below. It helps me out a lot, and it might let you know when I upload similar content to this one. If you enjoyed this style of video more than others, let me know with a comment, and it would really help me if you liked the video as well. I hope to see you again in the next video.